But Vera said it was stealing.
You don't know that for sure.
Oh, it's a dead cert after what that Kay White said. And also, she got locked in a cell the minute we got back.
Oh, she's in her cell, is she?
Hold your horses. Don't you see? Burke's out of it. Now it's your chance to go.
She come down last shower, bird brain. After Burke's little stunt, none of us will be going to the factory. She's blown it for everyone.
Well, when I find Burke, she's gonna wish she was dead.
I would like an explanation, Burke. Mr. Reynolds believes you are stealing from the factory.
How could I? We get searched, don't we?
Don't waste my time. The material was being smuggled out of the tea room window.
I don't know nothing about it.
I am not here to play games with you. Miss White learned of your plan and reported it to Mr. Reynolds.
That bitch, she set me up.
Oh, so you do know something about it.
I might. Depends what it's worth.
You could not be in a worse position than you are at the moment. Your only hope is to tell the truth.
Okay. But you just remember who gave you the good oil.
I'll keep that in mind.
Kay White was pinching the stuff, not me.
Go on.
Well, she needed someone to help her and she asked me. All I had to do was stick the stuff out the window and she was going to have it picked up later.
And what did you get out of it?
Nothing. She said she'd dob me into the boss if I didn't help her. She was going to say it was me pinching the stuff, not her.
How interesting. And I suppose she then blackmailed members of your family to take it from the factory.
I don't know who was going to pick it up. I'm telling the truth, honest. She was...
I do not believe you. Miss White is a respected employee of the factory.
Oh, yeah, and I'm just a crim.
If Mr. Reynolds sees fit to report this to the police, you will be charged with attempted theft. In the meantime, you will be held in solitary confinement.
You lousy...
That's enough, Burke. Thank you, Miss Bennett.
Hi, Jude, it's me.
Did you get your passport?
No. Bastard weaseled up the price on me.
How much?
Double.
Oh. Judy, I wish I could let you have some more money, but I can't. I'd have to take it out of the bank and well, Pete'll ask questions.
Sweetheart, you've already done more than enough, thanks.
So it's back to square one?
Yep.
What do you do now?
Pull another job?
Another pro?
No. The Fan Tan Club.
Hell, what's that? A strip joint?
It's illegal gambling.
Judy, you be very careful. The cops will get you for sure.
No, they won't. You see, I said it was illegal. Now, that means that all I have to do is put on my policewoman's uniform, get out my Irish accent, and go and get the money that they give to the cops to keep them quiet, you understand?
Well, I don't like the sound of it.
No, I don't think the Irish do either. Anyway, it's safer than robbing a bank, isn't it?
When will you do it?
Well, it'll have to be tomorrow because they're all closed today. Don't tell me. My stars have said that tomorrow is a very bad day for robbing Fantan clubs, right?
Lovey Peter's due back tomorrow, or the day after.
Well, I'll be gone by then.
Yeah, but what if you're not? Oh, Judy, I won't kick you out, but Pete'll ask questions.
Well, honey, he's been overseas. He's not likely to have heard about it over there.
Yes, I know, but I never told him about us.
Well, I'm not likely to tell him. He's not likely to find out for himself, is he?
No, suppose not.
Oh, Pauline. I'm really giving you a hard time, aren't I? I mean, here you are, you've got yourself really nicely organized, and I come in and bugger up your life. Not only am I your ex-lover, I'm a fugitive as well.
Yeah, well, what are friends for?
You be off duty?
I thought I'd better get this report out of the way.
What report?
The one for the department about this morning's incident at the factory.
Well, that may not be necessary.
Since the project's going to be cancelled, the department will want to know why.
You seem to have spent the entire day jumping to conclusions. It may not be cancelled.
But surely it should be.
Mr. Reynolds is coming here tomorrow to discuss the matter.
You mean to tell me that the women are going to be allowed to go back to work in spite of what's happened?
As I said, the matter will be discussed tomorrow.
What's going to happen to Burke?
That hasn't been decided. The staff will be notified as soon as instructions come through.
And when's that likely to be?
I've no idea. Good night.
Well, Burke's in solitary, that's one thing we know for certain.
Yeah, but for how long?
I don't know. I asked to serve her dinner, but they got Gladys to do it instead, so I couldn't find out.
Right, lights out in 10 minutes, ladies.
Oh, Mrs. Jackson, we was just talking about our old mate, Noel.
Yeah, we was wondering, Mrs. J, how long's she going to be in the pound for?
I wouldn't have thought you'd be interested. I mean, Burke's no friend of yours.
Oh, we don't bear any grudges, especially with old Noel being in the pound. How long's she in for? 24 hours? 2 days? A week? Gosh, she must have done something real bad to be in there all that time.
I can read you like a book, Lizzie. Now, how long Burke's in solitary is none of your business. Good night.
No, it is our business if she gets that work project cancelled.
Yeah, but you can't do anything. It looks as though she's going to be in there for at least a week.
Oh, what's a week in here? They'll have to let her out sometime. And when they do, I'll be waiting for her. So all we have to do is get Burke alone for 5 minutes, and she'll be history.
Oh, I'd pull her nails out real slow, like they done in the Spanish Inquiry.
Don't go get any ideas. This is my show. And I'm going to see that Burke gets done properly.
You still haven't said how.
Remember Yatesy? Got herself locked in one of the dryers. Never found her until it was too late. Funny how you remember things. Well, I think Burke's going to have an accident too. Not as bad as Yatesy's, of course, but then she doesn't have to know that, does she?
She's gone.
What do you want about?
Burke! I was taking the trolley with the meals around her solitary and she wasn't there.
Come on, stop gossiping, Lizzie, and get back to work.
I was just telling B
She was
that
just
I
telling me
went
that Burke had disappeared and we were worried about what happened to her.
Smoko's over. Back to work, everyone.
Oh, Jackson's getting cagey in her old age.
Well, maybe she got wind of what you were going to do, B, and they've moved her to another wing.
Well, then we'll just have to find out which wing, won't we?
How?
Lizzie, you've got to take the trolley back to the kitchens later. Someone there will know if she's been transferred to another wing. Keep your ear to the ground.
Will do.
Burke's going to get it no matter where she is.
Mr. Reynolds to see you, Mrs. Davidson.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Davidson.
Do sit down. Would you fetch Miss Bennett, please?
Good to see you again, Erica.
Not under ideal circumstances, unfortunately.
No, it's a pity Burke decided to play up.
Do you intend to lay charges against her?
Well, I don't want to. Nor do I want to see her back at the factory again.
There's no danger of that. She was transferred to a country prison late last night.
What, as a punishment?
Well, not exactly. Burke has always been a troublemaker for both the staff and prisoners. If she'd stayed, the women would have exacted their own punishment on her for jeopardizing the work release.
Ah, so she was sent away for her own protection. Well, in that case, I've no objection to the scheme continuing.
You wanted to see me?
And Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Reynolds is here to discuss the future of the factory project.
The future?
Well, there's no point in cancelling it. It would mean the women were suffering for Burke's sins.
You're asking for trouble.
Well, I think it's worth the risk.
It may be worth the risk to you, Mr. Reynolds, but it's the officers who have to answer to the department if something happens.
Oh, Miss Bennett has a point. But with the added security...
You're placing an extra burden on the staff, Mrs. Davidson.
Not really. It just means the officers will be working outside the prison. They'll be doing the same amount of work inside.
So the project's going to continue?
Yes, I think so.
Will that be all, Mrs. Davidson?
Yes, thank you. You may return to your duties.
I don't know why she wanted us in on that conversation in the first place. She made up her mind before we even got there.
The only reason she wants that project to go ahead is Mr. Andrew Reynolds.
What are you driving at?
Well, they're having a relationship.
Oh, come on, Vera.
Don't believe me if you don't want to, but it's true. Remember I told you she got flowers the other day? Well,
Yeah, well, that doesn't prove a thing. And even if she is, that's her business, and I don't really want to know about it. I just wish she'd change her mind about the women going back to work.